The San Francisco 49ers are insanely good. Like, I don't know that anyone in the league right now can beat this team. If you've been watching the channel at all this season, you know that I've been a big proponent that I believe that the 49ers are the best team in the league. And clearly, after 5 weeks, that looks like it's the case. This is one of the most perfectly well-rounded rosters in football. Not only is the defense incredible, but so is the offense, and Brock Purdy has really progressed well in this system. The 49ers probably have one of the best offenses in terms of scheme that is in the NFL. Maybe another team that I would bring up is maybe like the Dolphins, but the 49ers are incredible. They haven't just been winning games this year, they've been absolutely clapping their opponents. In only one of their 5 games they've played this year was a team within 3 scores of them, and that was against the Rams in week 2. Outside of that, they've been destroying every opponent in their way. And that trend continued on Sunday Night Football against the Dallas Cowboys. But first, thank you to DraftKings for sponsoring today's video. NFL fans, are you ready for some more exciting action on the field this week? We've partnered up with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official partner of the NFL, and they've got you covered. New customers can bet just $5 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. It's really that simple. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and sign up using our promo code JDPROD, and new customers bet just $5 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. DraftKings customers can also get skin in the game with same game parlays, where you can combine multiple bets from the same game for a chance at an even bigger payout. If sports betting is not yet available in your state, it's not a problem. You can still get in on the action with DraftKings Daily Fantasy Sports. Again, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and sign up using our promo code JDPROD. New customers bet just $5 on any wager and receive $200 in bonus bets instantly. That's promo code JDPROD only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Thank you again to DraftKings for sponsoring today's video. Let's get right back to it. Now, coming into this season, the Dallas Cowboys were considered to be a real Super Bowl contender. The roster is really good. Dak Prescott was expected to limit those turnovers, hasn't happened, and everything just seemed like it would come together this year and it'd finally be the year for the Dallas Cowboys. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but that doesn't look like it's going to be the case. The San Francisco 49ers absolutely blasted the Dallas Cowboys in week 5, 42-10 on prime time on Sunday Night Football. Like I said, this season, people thought Dak Prescott would limit the turnovers. He even had a press conference preseason saying that he was going to limit his turnovers, and that just didn't look like the case. Dak Prescott had 3 turnovers in this game, and he frankly is a big reason why they lost this game so bad. But it wasn't all Dak. This Dallas offense just couldn't get anything going against the 49ers defense. Tony Pollard also fumbled, so the Cowboys had 4 turnovers on the night, and you're not going to win games when you turn the ball over that much, especially against an offense that's as efficient as the 49ers. The 49ers continued to run the score up, and it got to the point where Dallas just put their backups in. Brock Purdy was electric, and I've been a pretty big proponent of his since he's come into the league and actually gotten the start in San Francisco. He's not the most athletically gifted guy, he's not the most impressive quarterback out there, but man, can this kid throw the ball with great anticipation and extend plays good enough to help his offense make plays. He is perfect for this system, or rather should I say, this system is perfect for Brock Purdy. In this game against Dallas, Brock Purdy threw 4 touchdowns. He was just slinging the rock. 3 players had over 50 receiving yards. George Kittle had 3 touchdowns. My fantasy team is thanking him. He hasn't done jack shit over the first 4 weeks of the season, so thank you, George Kittle, for finally doing something. I drafted you for a reason. The other 2 with over 50 receiving yards was Brandon Ayuk and Deebo Samuel. But it really felt like everybody on the 49ers offense was eating this week. Both Christian McCaffrey and Jordan Mason had over 50 rushing yards, and both ended up scoring a touchdown. This 49ers team is just insane on both sides of the ball. It's extremely well coached, and they have so much talent that even if you have a good team opposing them, it's really hard to match up. So the San Francisco 49ers are 5-0. They're just one of 2 teams left in the league with an undefeated record, the other being the Philadelphia Eagles. And like I said before, the 49ers have been rolling all season long. They blew the crap out of the Steelers 30-7 in week 1, and then had a pretty tight game against the Rams. That was that one game that was within 3 scores. But when those 2 teams come together to play, it always feels like it's a pretty good game. Makes a lot of sense. You got Kyle Shanahan, who's a genius, and Sean McVay is also a genius in his own regard. Then San Francisco crushed the Giants 30-12, and then the Cardinals 35-16. With them now sitting at 5-0, they're 1.5 games ahead of the Seahawks in the NFC West, and it just feels like they're about to run away with this division. Now, Seattle is a team that could definitely still make the playoffs. I think they're still a very good team when everybody's healthy, but I really have a hard time seeing anybody taking down this 49ers team, barring some crazy injuries down the stretch. Now, a big reason for the success of this 49ers team has no doubt been Brock Purdy. I know there were a lot of questions coming into this season if he could really be the guy to take the starting job and propel this team in the right direction, and frankly, I think he's doing a great job at it. There's a reason the 49ers got rid of Trey Lance, and it just feels like what Brock Purdy is doing behind center in San Francisco hasn't really been done by the couple of guys that have come before him, aka Jimmy Garoppolo and Trey Lance. Brock Purdy is playing at a high level. Yes, the talent around him is great, and also the scheme fits him extremely well, but he's also playing really well. I've watched a lot of film on Brock Purdy this year, and the dude throws with incredible anticipation. No, he doesn't have the strongest arm, he's not the fastest, but the connections he has with his teammates are just rock solid. It feels like everybody on this team is on the same page. Now, some people might argue that Brock Purdy still isn't that good, blah blah blah, but you really can't disagree with the facts. He's 10-0 as a starter in the regular season. And I get it, the 49ers are a great team where really 99% of quarterbacks could succeed in, but Brock Purdy just looks good, man. He's consistent, he doesn't mess up a lot. I mean, dude doesn't even have an interception this season yet, and he just makes them fun to watch. Funny enough, he's actually on the way to trying to break the NFL record for most consecutive wins to start a career. That record is currently held by Ben Roethlisberger, who had the record at 15. Also, crazy enough, the first loss Ben Roethlisberger ever suffered was in the AFC Championship, which is funny because Brock Purdy lost in the NFC Championship last year after tearing his UCL. But of course, that doesn't count towards the record, so Ben Roethlisberger did win 15 straight regular season games. Now, it will be interesting to see if Purdy can break it or not, but right now this team just feels unstoppable. In 10 games, Purdy has 2,645 yards, 25 touchdowns, and only 4 interceptions. Like I said before, hasn't thrown one this season though. No, he isn't the most talented guy, but he's getting the ball out on time, he's making great decisions, and frankly, he can extend plays long enough and good enough for it to be effective on this offense. No, he's not Lamar Jackson or Anthony Richardson and gonna take off for a 50-yard scramble, but don't get it wrong, Brock Purdy is still really solid under pressure. The San Francisco 49ers have really put together the perfect scheme for a guy like him. Does that make him an elite level quarterback? Probably not. I think Kirk Cousins or even Mac Jones, even though he's been struggling a lot, would potentially even be better in this system because everything is perfect. But right now it's Brock Purdy, and it's working really well. And Kyle Shanahan seems all in on the Brock Purdy hype. Now, while Purdy is a big focal point for this offense and a reason why they're doing so well this year, the pieces around him are so damn good. Even if you came in with the perfect game plan for this offense, you're still gonna struggle. They have pieces on pieces on pieces. Christian McCaffrey, one of the best running backs in the league, if not the best running back in the league, already has over 510 rushing yards and 7 touchdowns. He's also practically the number 4 receiver in San Francisco too. As for their actual receivers, Brandon Ayuk and Deebo Samuel both have over 300 yards and 3 combined touchdowns. I just want to say this real quick. I think Brandon Ayuk is so underrated. Week after week, he produces, he looks good, his route running is great, and the connection that him and Purdy have is really good. As for Deebo Samuel, he is lethal on this offense. Being able to put a wide receiver in at running back and have him run these routes out of the backfield and have a linebacker covering essentially a wide receiver, it's just unfair, and he wins 99% of the time. Now, I'm boosting the crap out of this offense, and I haven't even brought up George Kittle, who's a stud in and of himself. He has 215 yards and 3 touchdowns, all of those coming against Dallas, by the way. He's been pretty quiet this season. They haven't really targeted him too much, but can't really blame them because they have so many other insane pieces to throw the ball ball to. Now, with all the success that San Francisco is having, and especially Brock Purdy, you would think that the offensive line that they currently have is like one of the best units, if not like the best unit in the NFL, but it's actually really not that good. I mean, Trent Williams alone props up the line to be better than it probably is. He legitimately might be the best player in football, but yeah, the line isn't really even that crazy. It's really just the fact that Kyle Shanahan's a genius play caller and that scheme is literally perfect. It's not like Brock Purdy isn't getting hit this year. He's still getting sacked every single game he plays in, but week in and week out, he's composed and consistent and delivers. And that's all you can really ask for from your starting quarterback. Now, while everybody is singing the praises of the San Francisco 49ers offense, justifiably so, it's amazing, the 49ers might also have the best defense in the league, which is just unfair. Nick Bosa and Fred Warner may be the best at their position in the NFL, and that entire defensive front for the Niners is just insane. Eric Armstead and Javon Hargrave are beasts at defensive tackle. Then you have Cleveland Ferrell, who's opposite of Nick Bosa. He was the Raiders' 4th overall pick back in 2019. Shout out Richmond. Dre Greenlaw is a stud at linebacker. And then in the secondary, you have Charvarius Ward and Talanoa Hufanga, who's really turned into a good safety after being a 2021 fifth. But man, the 49ers are stacked from top to bottom. They're an insane team with an insane roster, with an insane head coach. It's really not fair. There's a reason why they're the Super Bowl favorite. DraftKings currently has them at plus 350. The Chiefs are next up at plus 550, but nobody else is better than plus 800. The 49ers are clearly the heavy favorites to take it home this year. And honestly, it just feels like it's about time. This 49ers team has consistently been good since hiring Shanahan. Even with the quarterback turnover, this team has consistently produced and been really good. The fact that they were able to turn a Mr. Irrelevant into one of the most talked about quarterbacks in the NFL is quite insane and impressive. But even if you don't have full faith in Brock Purdy, it doesn't really matter because everything else around him is perfect and built for him to succeed. Like I said earlier, this might be the best offensive scheme in the entire NFL. Week in and week out, they come into the game prepared and ready to beat the living crap out of whoever's on the other side of left field. There's no doubt in my mind that the San Francisco 49ers are unbeatable and the best team in football. Thank you guys for making it all the way to the end of the video. If you like this one, make sure to smash the like button. It really does help the channel a lot. And to subscribe to the channel if you don't already. Turn on bell notifications so you never miss an upload by us. And again, thank you guys for everything and making it all the way to the end of the video. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.